Peace is a technical, mental, and energetic state of being, which you can reach. It is a feeling any of us can have at any time, but do you want to keep it? If you want to keep peace as a regular state of being that you come back to naturally, doesn't mean you'll never fluctuate out of peace, but making it your baseline, let me teach you how to detect what your subconscious, your energy state of being, your behaviors, your mind, and your emotions can tell you as evidence and data about the shape of your subconscious and how to use that shape to bring yourself into inner peace. Hi, my name is Dr. Arian Wine. I am a cognitive scientist and I teach you how to see the shape of your subconscious. Today we're going to talk about peace as a technical state of your subconscious being. And in order for that to actually make sense, we have to talk about what the subconscious actually is doing, because you are going to have to figure out what your subconscious is actually situated like right now. And how are you going to do that given that it's not conscious, it's subconscious? So I'm going to teach you how to use conscious information, your thoughts, your feelings, your behaviors, your energetic state, and your emotions. That was the other one I said. How to use that as information you can get consciously to understand the shape of your subconscious. Now, the shape of your subconscious is the following. It is either healthy boundaries or it is broken, wounded, with holes and patches, bandages, walls, all kinds of things trying to patch up the wounds, trying to patch up the holes. You know what I'm talking about. And if you want to go deeper on understanding what those wounds are, what they're like, how to heal them, come check out my Core Wound Healing playlist. But for this video, I want to talk about how to actually figure out how to keep peace. So, first of all, now that we've covered the basics, we're going to fix something in our subconscious, which we can't technically see. Fun. And they said psychology was an easy major. It's actually the hardest thing to understand, something that you can't see, which is yourself, and which is why I love it so much, but I digress. You and I both want peace, and we deserve peace, and peace is our natural state. So when we have it for a second and we don't get to keep it, no one likes that. So let's talk about how to keep it. How to actually keep peace in yourself is to heal the part of your subconscious that creates peace. Technically, this is not something you can just force and pray it stays. It's actually a healthy boundary. So, healthy boundaries are boundaries where we decide what energy leaves us and what energy we keep. What do we say about peace? Keeping your own peace. So here's some clues. Let's start getting into the clues. What do we know consciously about the subconscious state of our being that is peace? Well, we say things in our culture like keep the peace, protect your peace, stay in peace. This is talking about an inner state, our internal world. Okay? Other parts of our being are facing with the outer world, like your immediate emotions, your thoughts that you're using in a conversation. Those are external things. Peace is totally internal. Now, can other things come in and disturb your peace? Yeah, but there you go again. It's yours. So subconsciously, your subconscious has layers. One layer faces the outer world, and one layer faces the inner world. And peace is situated in the part of your subconscious that's looking within. Peace is about how you are holding your inner world. Are you holding your inner world in a state that is full safe, protected, secure, where you're choosing consciously what energy you can hold in there. And when you choose that, you can keep it. Now, let's get into kind of part two stuff. Part two stuff is, now that you kind of know where peace is, we have to do the really uncomfortable, and it's not fun for me either, thing where we assess where our own holes and walls and wounds and pains and bullshit are located. And if we're going to look at the part of our subconscious that's facing inward, this is about our internal world. So, for me and for you, those of us who have spent any part of our lives, the better part of our lives, fighting for our peace, fighting to keep our peace, figuring out how to get at peace, we have probably, and this okay, look, this isn't really a bad thing, but we've probably been like extremely wounded. We've probably been as wounded as you can possibly be. Like, let's be honest. I've been as wounded in terms of peace, in terms of everything, psychologically, as I can possibly be. And I have healed myself back to wholeness. And I am a living being who still gets hurt. And I use what I know to heal myself, which is why I teach this process. And if you want to learn this process, come take my online course. Come get healing resources that I make accessible on my page. You and I have both fought for our peace. And we know what it is like when we don't have peace and we want to keep it. So, with that being said, you have to be honest with yourself about where you are broken. Where do you have a hole? Where do you have an energy leak? Where are you covering up the wound? So, this is called inner work. It's not this cut and dry, easy process. If you want to make it a little bit easier, you can come take my mini course where I teach you how to, in a detailed, calm way, look through your mind, your emotions, your energy, your behaviors to find your core wounds. So a core wound is what causes the biggest problem in there. What are some core wounds that we might have to our peace? What are some core wounds you might have? Like asking yourself this. If you're actually going to heal this, which, like, this is gut-wrenching stuff, right? I personally find it really fun, but, like, my gut is wrenched. Why are we doing this? Why are we causing ourselves pain? I hear my subconscious crying this. Okay, look. Because I want to keep my peace. Because it's worth it to heal. Because you actually can be whole. You actually can be healed. You actually don't have to put up with bullshit forever and wait until the outside world is okay for you to be at peace. And you're not bad or wrong for creating inner peace while the world is in chaos. That is one of the most toxic messages that has come out of the last 5 years, is telling the public that if you don't keep yourself locked into all the chaos in the world, and you actually cultivate inner peace, that you're bad and you're abandoning humanity. That is literally insane. The best thing you can actually do for humanity is be a whole human, is be a complete human, is actually be a space of peace. That way, when someone else who is not in peace needs help, you're a safe haven. If you never allow yourself to heal, listen to me, if literally none of us ever let ourselves actually stay in peace, actually stay healed, then the chaos wins. There is a difference between keeping yourself broken open out of being guilt-tripped and shamed and ignoring with blinders what is wrong while keeping yourself broken. If you have the awareness to be shamed into staying broken, you have the awareness to realize that you deserve to be whole and you're a better use to the rest of humanity by being a whole and complete being. And in that state, you can also be aware of the chaos. That's what the healing is for. Healing is supposed to be a short-term thing. You're supposed to get a wound and heal from it like that. Just like if you get a scratch on your body will just start healing the scratch. But if you get a broken bone, guess what? Your body will try and heal that, but you need to reset the bone. You can't just leave the arm broken. Or like I had a friend once who broke his ankles and refused to get them reset, and he limped around for years, which was insane to watch. And we're doing that. We're all doing that psychologically. So there's my little pep talk. Stop. We have to stop listening to this propaganda. So that's part two. You have to actually look in there. Where do I have a leak? Where does my energy go flying out the window? What thoughts do I entertain that break my peace? What energy just busts its way into me? I don't have control over that, and it breaks my peace. So you take a look at the energy on the external. What's coming in that hurts me? Where are my leaks? And then now we go to part 3, which is the core wound part. So I know I just mentioned core wounds as part of healing the last thing, but the core wounds are really something that we hold in our inner world. So what a core wound actually is, and I told you there's a playlist to go deep on this, but just real quick. A core wound, which you probably already know because all of this intuitively makes sense, is a wound to your inner world, your inner beliefs. Like, these are implicit beliefs that we should have just naturally formed as children, like I'm a good person, the world is safe, I'm loved. It's okay to be happy, it's okay to express myself. And when we have experiences that break that part of us, they can be so deep, so painful, and so intimate and personal that we never heal them. Because actually healing something that deep would require that we show those inner parts of ourselves to the world, to safe people who are able to create the space for us to fully heal from that back to wholeness. And if we don't have safety in the world, we don't have people around us who can be that, we don't have other safe, peaceful people around, you and I stay with those core wounds inside of us, and then our subconscious starts taking over. It starts protecting the wound. It starts putting up blocks. It starts putting up limitations. It stops even letting us see the wound. It stops even letting us feel the pain. We start numbing out. We start living with hopelessness and pointlessness and soullessness, anguish, fear. Those are the kinds of inner holes that let other things come in and crack our peace. Because what's holding it up is a bunch of bandages over top of the equivalent of a broken bone in your subconscious. Your subconscious actually does have bones. It has pillars. It has core beliefs. So, I'm teaching a class this fall. Depending on when you see this, come take the class. I'm teaching live how to walk through the full process of seeing into your subconscious, mapping the shape of your subconscious, which I don't teach on the YouTube channel. So you go deep, you learn the structure of the subconscious, how to map it, and we walk through the full process of healing every core wound and all the architecture around it to protect it, back to wholeness, back to healthy boundaries, back to safe, stable core beliefs, like I'm a good person, I'm worthy, I'm loved. And then those just fade into your subconscious and become the structure with which you live in your reality and create it from the inside out. That's real shadow work. That's real core wound healing. That's how you heal your subconscious. And now for peace. Peace is your inner birthright. It is an inner state where you choose what energy comes into your inner world and you appropriately bounce energy out of your inner world that isn't good for you, that disturbs you. But you do this intelligently. A safe, peaceful boundary doesn't filter out information that you don't like. That's what a bandage does, a bandage that's bandaging up a core wound. Peace allows an information, lets you see reality for what it really is without shaking your foundation of yourself. That foundation is built from your own convictions, which are protected. You know who you are. Whatever that means for you. We actually, this is the other thing that's so cool about the minds. We all have insanely unique minds. You have an insanely unique subconscious. You have insanely unique core beliefs. One of mine that I've worked so hard to heal is that I'm a good person. I used to think I was a bad person. That was the broken version of me. Telling myself I'm a bad person made me give my energy away to everyone, made me let everything in. Now, I'm able to bounce away energy that doesn't need to be in my inner world by first looking at it safely, trusting myself to let go of what isn't mine. You can bounce it away, or you can just let it through and let it go while staying stable. It's like being able to tread water in a pool. There's still water going around you, but your head's above the surface. And if you go under the surface, you know how to come back up. That is a great analogy for inner peace. All right? So stay safe out there, my friends. Inner safety, inner wellness, inner peace. All right? And if you would like a little support on this journey, I have accessible healing resources for you down below that will get you started on your core wound healing journey. And like I mentioned, if you would like to walk with me live through the process of healing your core beliefs back to wholeness by mapping your unique subconscious, come take my course, which is going live this fall. I would absolutely love to have you in there. I have a little application. You can come tell me about yourself. All right, friends. Thank you for being here. Thank you for healing yourself to wholeness. Leave some positive energy in the comments for others. Be safe when you are sharing your story. And also, I know this is not easy. I know it's very real. I know there's a lot of pain. I feel it. I'm not hand waving over that, but I'm just saying we can heal. We should heal. And being healed and whole is your natural state and your birthright. Okay? So I'm empowering you to move towards that. And I'll be here. All right? So thank you. I love you. And peace.